So don't talk like this. Don't do that.
I don't know what to do with my hands. Alright, so we are.
There you go. So this thing really works good.
Oh yeah, it picks up
Damn!
ridiculously.
You just shot off the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
So we got warmed up.
The big brass monkey went down the lane. Say that 5 times fast.
The what now?
The big brass monkey went down the lane.
The big brass monkey went down the lane.
5 times fast.
Dude, I'm gonna wind up saying something I shouldn't. The big brass monkey went down the lane. Big brass monkey went down the lane. Big brass monkey. You fucking with me. You just screwing with
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
Dick.
All right. Welcome again, everybody, to this week's podcast. You can find this. It'll be the video version on YouTube / Tanner Watson. You can find this podcast at any podcasting app that you find. Sure. It'll be posted on Anchor. That's the app that we use to get this out there into the world. From there, it'll be posted on every platform that you listen to or consume podcasts through.
So, what are we talking about today?
So, today we're going to talk about cars. We're going to talk about dream cars, our first car, stories of what has happened in cars.
The first car.
The first car.
Jeez, that's a big step for everybody.
It is. It is.
Absolutely
like
is.
Even like whenever, which I don't think we had this luxury, but like the Sweet 16 of I got my first car, and like they always wreck. They always wreck their first car.
I will give you that. I did get my first car for my 16th birthday.
Did you really?
Yeah, I got a 91 Mustang, but it wasn't like the fives.
The fives, yeah.
Yeah, it was the luxury edition because Papa was like, I want you to have a Mustang, but you know, don't get crazy. Yeah, he understood how kids were, and he was like, nah,
you're not the 5.0 edition.
Yeah, he needs that what the granny goes to pick up groceries.
Yeah,
in.
the LT version. I think's what it's called. Yeah.
Nice car though, man. It was convertible.
That was a nice car.
Took a lot of girls on a few dates with
that.
That
was that little baby blue.
Oh, baby blue. It was beautiful. I loved that car. And I wrecked it so many times.
That was the one you got T-boned in. Tell that story. You have to tell that story.
Oh my God. I just about died.
Yeah, it literally almost died.
Let me try to story tell it real good. Like I said, you'll chop this up and stuff, but so the story goes, I'm hanging out with an old friend of mine named Owen Suits, reenacting buddy, really good guy, nice guy. Mm-hmm. Did you ever meet him?
I did.
He was awesome. Yeah. Owen was awesome. So me and him, I was buying some Civil War gear from a guy because I was going to do Civil War reenacting, and we were leaving the mill over there, and we were headed to
the Lee and Gordon Mill.
It's
a historic place up the road.
Yeah. We were going to cross the road, and I pulled up, and I was looking. And I looked looked both ways, and I saw the guy coming. He was at the red light. And I was like, man, I got a million years. Like, I can get across this thing 4 times. So I just start going. About that time, Owen says, oh, and I hear and I'm laughing. I'm like, what are you overreacting? About the time my window explodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember that thing felt like the tilt-a-whirl. You know how we get the tilt-a-whirl like as fast as you can get it going? Yep. I felt like that. The thing finally came to the stop. So we were going across the intersection. I'm trying to raise my hands. See, we're going across the intersection. Dude hit me. Boom. Going way faster than he should. My car spins around 6 times. Yeah. His rolls, and it does like this. So it rolls, and then it goes over like this. My front comes and smacks his. Boom. Took my bumper off. We've come to a stop. I can't open my door. The only thing, he had a gigantic military, I'm talking like he just pulled this thing from Afghanistan and put it on his car. Huge grill on the front of this massive truck. He gets out, he's complaining, oh my God, you totaled my car, I can't believe it. I didn't see anything wrong with it. Owen gets out of the car, I try to open my door, can't.
Window shattered, your door wouldn't open.
My arm was locked up at first from the impact, and I was like, oh, look like Rocky after a fight. Yeah. Couldn't get out of the car, crawled out through his side, my back left tire was gone, took it off, my car's laying there, water's coming out everywhere, it's steaming, my bumper is tore in his tire, and he was like, I don't know how I'm going to drive it home, and Owen's like, oh, I'm sorry, man, your car looks fine, let's just pull his bumper from your front tire so you can drive home.
Yeah. Now, he was in a truck, wasn't he?
He was in an SUV, actually. 4-wheel drive SUV.
Yeah, and you're in this little itty-bitty Mustang.
I'm in what Grandma picks up the kids from school in that says Mustang on it. Right. 91, the wreck happened. I mean, it was old as I was. I was probably at the time 17, 18 at the time.
Yeah.
So, completely totaled the car. I mean, like I said, I'm pulling pieces of my car out from under this monster tire. So the cop pulls up. First thing the cop does is that he's like, the dude just comes out, I mean, and is like, hey, and slaps his hand. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. They know each other.
They're best
They're
buddies.
friends. Barney Fife.
Yeah.
And what's the drunk dude's name from, they always got put in jail?
Oh, man.
Oh, come on, you know this. What is it? Of all people, you would know this.
I know.
What's
I
the
do
dude's
know
name?
it.
Used to put himself in jail.
Yeah, he'd get drunk. He'd go in there and sit down and be like...
That's basically who I hit, and Barney Fife showed up and was like, hey, man. So I already knew it was going great. So, you know, he asked me, he's like, can you pull your car to the side of the road? I looked at him and just was like, you tell me, you think I can pull this thing to the side of the road? It's missing, it has 3 tires.
Yeah.
Oh my God, which brings up another story. So, before that, I had went and got dessert over either at my Granny Mahan's or at Owen's mom's house. Mm-hmm. Sweet woman, by the way. Right. So, but anyways, it was cherry pie. So we hit, and that pie hits the back of my seat, all over the windshield, the back of my head.
Looks like
the first thing the cop does is he shakes hands with him. He looks, and when the second cop arrives, the second cop goes at the back of the car and goes, oh my God, was there a third passenger? And he was like on the radio, he's like, we're looking for a small child in the middle of the road. I had to explain it was cherry pie.
That's
that
hilarious.
Had gone everywhere.
That's awesome. I didn't know that part.
Yeah,
that's
I had cherry pie in the back seat, and when we hit, he hit us, and it just went, poof.
God.
So I wound up getting the ticket on that one.
Yeah.
Even though the dude was going way too fast, slammed into me. I'm pretty sure he ran the red light too, but he was buddy. Basically, the cop said to me, "Is you're getting the ticket because he has he's on probation, and if you get the ticket, it'll cost you like $350, $400. He'll go back to jail. So I'm gonna give you the ticket to keep him out of jail because he's getting his life back together. And since you're young, and he was like 25, 26 at the time. Since you're young, you're 16, 17. It's just gonna go on your record.
That was golden for him. That was great.
Oh,
for
that was golden for him.
Yeah,
it was a nightmare for me. I was in high school. You know, my grandparents weren't rich. I lived with my grandparents at the time, and they, paid my bills and stuff like that. And they weren't rich, and that was $400 out of their pocket. Yeah. And I wasn't thrilled about it. Papa went in. Papa pulled him to the car.
Yeah.
Papa, please don't go to jail.
Yeah,
this
please.
is stupid. So I mean, Papa about killed a man. I got a $400 ticket, and it was known for a while as the cherry pie incident.
That's
just
hilarious.
The cops' reaction.
That's awesome.
Looking around the road to see if there's somebody pulled out, sprawled out everywhere. So, by the way, if somebody had been in that back seat, they'd been dead.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The way he hit it was, okay, so you had the driver's seat here, and then back here you would be able to sit, and the seat would be in front of you. My seat was pushed up 3 inches because that metal part where you would sit, the back seat hit the front seat and pushed it up.
Right, because it was just a two-door.
By about 3 inches, yeah.
You had to let the seat up
and you had to crawl into the back.
When
he hit me so hard that the back seat was pushed forward, and the metal where the wheel went into the car and pushed my seat up 3 inches. Yeah. To the point where I was like this, and when I got out, the steering wheel was like this. And I was pushed up like this.
Yeah. Those seats, that's how my first car was.
Really?
The Trans Am.
Oh, I remember the Trans Am.
Yeah. So my first car was a 1985 Pontiac Trans Am. Loved that car. It was right out of the third Smokey and the Bandit movie.
Oh, yeah.
Had the gold rims, the T-tops. I loved that car. Paid $800 for that car.
Nice.
$800. It was a 5-speed 305 V8, big house of a car, loud.
So, for the record, you bought your first car.
I did for $800.
How did you get the money?
Work. Like mowing yards and stuff like that.
Like a man.
Yeah,
not given to you. I got you.
But so I was actually looking for a car and ended up we went for something like a pipe burst at Mom's house, and we stopped at Ace Hardware to get like the stuff to fix it or whatever. And as soon as I got out of the car, it was sitting there. And let me say, this car was ratted out. It was so bad. But I babied that thing.
That doesn't matter. When you're 16 years old and you see that car,
beautiful.
You're like, it is a Porsche. This is a Lambo.
Yes, I was sold as soon as I saw it. And it was ratted out. Like, the interior was horrible. I literally walked into Ace Hardware and was like, whose Trans Am's out front? I got to talk to you. And he walked up and he was like, that's mine. He was checking out. And I was like, what will it take for me to buy your car? I was just straightforward. I was like, I have to have it. And he was like, well, good for you. I'm actually thinking about selling it. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. I would love to buy it. How much?
What are the chances he's driving this rat
Yeah.
infested car, and he's like, God, this thing's gonna tear up on me. Who's driving the Trans Am?
Yeah.
I'm selling that if you're interested, kid.
I walked in there. He actually wanted $1,200 for it, and I was like, man, I don't have that kind of money. Like, is there? And it was like a month.
Did you have cash?
Yeah, it was cash. It was like a month of me like talking to my parents, going, well, will you drive me down to his house so I can test drive the car and stuff. So we go and we test. Me and my aunt end up going and we test drive it, and like he has to air up the tires because the tires are flat and stuff. Like, it's so bad.
That's funny.
So bad. But he takes us on the test drive and he drives around, and man, I remember when he was coming around the mountain, he has turned it sideways and dropped a gear and just let them tires eat, and I was like, I'm sold. I have to have it. I have to have it.
That flicker of testosterone.
Oh yeah, I
down
was
your
like,
crotch,
boom,
and you're like,
sold.
That's
not the only time I've ever bought a car off of because of that like reason. I had a '69 442 I bought for that reason. Dude, he literally just laid into it. My Mazda RX-8. I bought that thing because the man at the dealership was like, yeah, man, you could drive it. And I was just babying that thing. And he was like, come on, lay into it. And I let that thing eat.
That's all it took.
And I bought it. I left that day with that car. Like,
you just pulled into the parking lot and had to smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, like, that was it. That was perfect. But back to my first car. Yeah. My first car, it had the T-tops, which, if you don't know what that is, it's two pieces of glass that are your roof, and you have to physically get out and take them out and put them in your trunk. Loved that car. We had a lot of memories in that car. A lot of times together.
We rode to school together in that car.
Oh, every day. We rode every day to school.
Every day. As a matter of fact, I was dating a girl one time, and young Tanner thought it would be funny. She was waiting in the parking lot for me. We always talked in the morning before school. I was like 16. You know, that's what 16-year-olds do because she drove. And Tanner was like, I was like, Tanner, gotta hurry up and get there. I was being a little bit
douchey. That's the word I would use.
Think of another word.
He was being douchey.
I was young. It was new. I was dating a girl.
I was so mad at you for that.
I wanted to seem cool. Oh, you got me back.
I was so mad at
so
that.
what he does is he pulls in the parking lot. No one else is there. It's like, what, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., something like that?
It's like 2 or 3 hours before.
So I'm like, I apologize to you afterwards.
Right.
I've made good on that. But what he did, because I was being douchey about seeing my girlfriend, was he gets out there in his Trans Am and goes, oh, you want to see her? You want to see her? And goes around her in donuts in the parking lot till smoke is coming off the tires. And he does it. He doesn't do it like once, twice. He does it for 5 minutes. He goes around my girlfriend
5 minutes?
Until there was like a smoke screen over the parking lot. I come out embarrassed and try to talk to my girlfriend. Oh, he's just funning with you.
He was so mad.
That's the only time I've ever got mad at you. When I think about it. And that was just. It's just when you're young, your cred is everything. Your reputation.
Oh, it is.
Everything.
Yeah.
You hurt that reputation. Yep. That's it. It's done, and that's what it was. The only reason I was mad is because you hurt my reputation. Because I was supposed to go sit and smooch in the car or whatever, and you're like,
that car was what made me cool in high school. There was people that we went to high school. I guarantee they still don't know who I am.
But they know that car.
They know that car.
They absolutely know.
Yeah,
that car.
I got in trouble every day because it came off the exhaust came off the motor as
manifold. Oh, the teachers hated that car.
It stopped right at the firewall. So as soon as you cranked it, it sounded like a drag.
You could hear it in the front of the school. You would just hear.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'd park behind the school. You'd hear it at the front of the school. So I'd crank it up. The teachers would come out there and say they were going to write me up.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
They're gonna write me up because it's too loud and I'm revving my motor.
For the record, let me just throw out that yes, I was a little douchey with that girlfriend, but we only lasted like 6 months, and after that, I was all about the car. I dated the car basically. He took care of it. I dated the thing. I loved that car. Every day I would run out of school, throw my book bag in the back seat, and just sit there with the window down as he just revved it up. And every single teacher came out of that school just to look at the trash driving the train. And I loved it. I was like, dude, if you don't burn out of this school, I'm gonna be so mad.
There was many nights this car was. I wish I still had it. I ended up selling it to put money towards my Mazda RX-8, but
sold it to an idiot.
Yeah,
which you shouldn't have done, but
we had so many memories in the car. There was nights we slept in that car.
We did. We would.
I thought we was gonna freeze to death one winter. We slept in the car and it's snowing.
I can tell that story. Well, not that story, but I can tell other stories like it. I used to sneak out of the house, and it would be like in the middle of the night, and I'd go up to Tanner's. And Tanner, I don't know, you just stayed up all night. I don't think you ever slept in high school. I would show up at 3 a.m. and he would just be sitting there playing games, and I'd knock. I'm like, Tanner, it's Nick. It's Nick. And he'd open the door and be like, "What do you want?" And oh no,
Jubilee thought somebody was knocking on the door.
No, baby, it's Nick. I'm sorry. So he'd come out and he'd be like, "What do you want, dude?" And I'd be like, "Oh, hey." So we'd go in. He would drive us to Steak and Shake.
Like every night.
3 a.m. Yeah, like every night. And we would do it. Well, one time, we would hang out, we would talk. I mean, we talked about, you gave that speech at my wedding, we talked about everything.
Yeah.
God, science, politics, who's the strongest Marvel character.
Yeah.
So, and we were just talking. Well, he pulled it in the driveway. Well, I go up to the door, and my little door that I kept unlocked, the back door, Papa or Nana must go up in the middle of the night, and they checked, and they're like, this door's unlocked.
Yeah, locked.
And it's snowing, and I'm like, oh, God. So Terrence getting ready to go out the driveway, and I'm like, dude, no, man. Like, no, it's a no-go. My door's locked. I can't get in. And he was like, I don't know why we didn't just go to your house and sleep, but instead we just sat in the car and talked.
We slept
and woke up blue.
Yeah.
Like, borderline hypothermia
Yep.
we got up. And I think Nana woke up or something, and I came in, and I gave some ridiculous story along the lines of, Tanner had a flat tire, and I had to get up and help him change it at like 4 a.m.
That car broke down every day.
She knew what happened, but it broke down.
It broke down every day on the way. If it didn't break down on the way to school, it broke down on the way home, and we'd have to stop.
Or
lift the hood.
My favorite thing is we'd be riding along. We'd be so cool, arm out the window, Tanner's driving one hand. Here it comes the rain. Pull it off. Get out with the little screwdriver. Pop the hood quick again. Go to get the lights to come up.
My lights. They were the ones where you turn the lights on, that they come up and turn on. You turn them off, they go down. Well, years, in the 90s, the motors went out. So when you turned them on, they wouldn't do anything. They stayed down, the lights would come on. So you had to get out and manually screw the motor round, and then do it to the other light. But as soon as you turned the lights off, they went down. So every time it would start raining or it would become dark, I'd have to pull over on the side of the road and roll them little things out.
Yep.
Man, it didn't happen.
And we looked so cool. Like leaving that school. And then we'd get out and then it would start raining and everybody would snicker. I know everybody was laughing at us. So we'd be out there pouring down rain.
Yep.
And then he only had one screwdriver at one point in time. So I was out there standing. I don't know why I was out there. I guess I was just like, It's my best friend. It's my homie. So I'm going to stand out here in this thunderstorm while you roll up the lights. So I did. So I'm sitting there with my hands in my pockets, pouring down rain. School buses are going by us.
Yep.
That was a good car, though.
It was. I loved that car.
Those are good memories,
Yeah.
Wasn't at the time, but now, man, I like that.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite car I've ever owned. Is that car.
You want to talk about Cleveland, or is that for the night?
Not in this one.
Okay.
We're at 18 minutes.
Yeah, we'll make it even 20.
Yeah, we'll make it even 20.
So after my car tore up, I drove the van.
Oh, the pedo van.
The pedo van.
Oh,
everybody made fun. Okay, I drove that thing. My grandfather was an electrician, and I mean he worked hard, and he got a van with no windows in it. Because I'm pretty sure he pulled up at a job site. Somebody broke into his car, stole like half of his stuff. I'm talking $3,000 or $4,000 worth of stuff. Because the window, he had the truck, he had the camp top on it because he didn't want somebody stealing it. Somebody looked in and was like, "Oh, I want that, and that." Broke the back window, got in. Yep. I mean, stole $2,000 or $3,000 of stuff. When you're an electrician, you can't afford to have $4,000 worth of stuff stolen that time. So we got this van that is like a metal dome. There's no windows. It's a solid metal van.
Okay, well, hang on. For Paul, that van is practical. He needs it. But when it's handed down to little Nicky, and Nick is driving a completely white van with no windows.
Okay, I understand.
Carry on.
I understand. Now, what happened is I talked about it earlier. My Mustang, total dead scrap metal.
Right.
I mean, that truck ate it and spit it out.
Absolutely.
So I didn't have a car, and I mean, I don't come from a rich family. And
Right.
then in Papa, I was like, this time I'm in community college now, and I'm like, Nana, I don't have a car. You know, I've got to get forth to. At the time, I was going over to Holly's, and Holly's would take me to school. We went to class together.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we had some classes together. So I was like, I can ride with her, but I got to get over. And they didn't have an extra vehicle, so Paul said, drive the van. And the jokes and the insults began immediately, but I didn't care. And I told everybody, and I still tell everybody about that van. I said, everyone makes fun of that van until you need something moved. Then that is your best friend. Everybody's like, hey, you're driving a windowless white van. And it's like, will this couch fit in it? And I'm like, yeah, it will. And then all of a sudden, it's the greatest car. It is the Lamborghini for the day. And then as soon as their stuff's moved, they're like, hey, ridiculous van. Pedophile.
Yep.
But that was a good van. A van, and out of all the
It's
cars,
still running.
Yeah, out of all the cars I've ever had, that van took the most abuse and everything. Because here's the thing. At the time, I thought that I was parking it. And then my papa on the weekends was getting the oil changed. He wasn't. That car went 6 years without oil change.
Oh, my goodness.
6
wow.
years and never tore up. Air conditioner worked. It never got anything done to it for 6 years. And that thing
That's impressive.
Still runs. As a matter of fact, when I got done with it, Papa pulled it around the back of the house and parked it. It sat there for a year and a half. And then I drove it again, and it started right up.
That's impressive.
That car
That's a good van.
That car is like, I mean, it's a workhorse.
Yeah.
That car is so good. I had a Honda, too. This ain't a very interesting story. But I went down, it was my grandmother's, and it had a bad transmission. And they told my grandmother, they said, transmission thing's going to die. My dad even told me, he's like, if you're going to, my dad said, if you're going to get grandmother's car, I'm going to tell you, it has a terminal illness. The transmission is bad. It's going to go bad. This car is going to die. Just know that. So I went down to my granny's. I mean, my grandmother, I love my grandmother to death. She's so sweet, nice, kind. When we went down for my bachelor party, what did she do? She could have got sandwiches. She made spaghetti with all the fixings.
She went all out.
Everything. But she grew up, her parents raised her about the price of money. So when I was working for a car, I worked for that car. I came in, I woke up in the morning, she would fix breakfast. Don't get me wrong. Great deal.
Oh, yeah.
Three hot meals, place to sleep, talk to, internet, all the stuff. But, I mean, it was time to work. So I had a sign-in sheet. And I signed in what time I started work, when I took a break, and when I quit work.
Yeah.
And I think it was partially my dad's idea, but I did that. And I worked doing everything my granny needed. I laid down mulch. I planted flowers. I wheelbarrowed. And you saw her yard.
Oh, yeah, it's huge.
I went from that garage to the end of the road with pea gravel, with wheelbarrows full of pea gravel. I worked, the hardest work I ever did in my life, other than working at Fill Hour.
I remember that.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that. That's for another day.
Yeah, job's a whole nother one.
Yeah, we'll probably talk about that next week. So I would carry that wheelbarrow full up there, several trips, laid down the rock, finally got the car. And then 2 months later, it died.
All that work!
It
For 2 months.
So hard. I want to say I worked $3,000 worth of work, making basically $5 an hour.
Goodness.
Sweat, hard, outside. I mean, my Granny Mahan, not my Nana and Papa, obviously Papa, I know he's an electrician, and Nana worked hard too. All my family has worked hard for a long time. But my Granny knew how to work, especially in the yard, and she put me to work.
Yeah.
And I had the car for 2 months, and the transmission completely went out. I lost my first, second, and the third gear was getting tore to bits, is what he said.
It goes out fast.
And
I think I remember that. The reverse worked.
Yeah. I called you, and I was like, dude, my car is gone.
Reverse was fine.
Oh, yeah, reverse was complete. You put it in reverse, I could have drove anywhere if I could legally drive in reverse everywhere I went.
Yep,
But first, second was completely gone, and third was like being tore to pieces. Fourth was fine. Fourth was completely fine.
Yeah, that's overdrive.
Yeah.
You got to get up to 50 for that.
So that was, and that's all the cars I've owned. Now, my grandmother went to an auction, and I drive a Ford Explorer that used to belong to the Chickamauga, I think, water company, I think. They used to it has the lights on it. They used to drive it around and check everything, and that's what I drive now.
Nice.
It's a nice little car. I need to take a little bit better care of it and clean it a little bit more, but college student,
I've got a Chevy Equinox now.
Equinox.
I love SUVs.
What happened? You went from a Trans Am to a Mazda RX-8. Now I want to take a second.
There was a lot of hot rods in between there too.
Now I want to talk about one thing. I want you to tell the story of when I would come over and Tanner was wheeling and dealing. And what I mean by wheeling and dealing is I would show up. Tanner had 5 or 6 cars sitting in his mama's yard, and he's like, I own that. I'm trading somebody for that.
Well, hang on, let me cut.
Tanner needs to tell the story of when I used to go over to his house and he would do wheeling and dealing, which means I came over one time and Tanner had probably 4 or 5 cars sitting in your driveway, and he was like, "That's mine, that's mine, that's mine. I'm selling those 2, and I'm getting this for it." So why don't you tell him about the time you owned a little used car lot?
Yeah. So, I've always been kind of a wheel and deal kind of trade. My whole family is really. So
hey, that's how you survive sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how
money
we got
made in that.
A lot of stuff. That's how
money to be made in that. No joke.
So it was like someone would like their car would break down and they were like, "Well, I don't want to fix that, but I need like my house painted or like the inside kitchen painted." And I was like, "Well, hey, that car you got out there, it's broke down. It needs like brakes or a transmission or something like that." So I would go and do whatever work they needed and take the car. So I mean, I think at one point in time I had maybe 5 or 6 cars at one time.
Right. Yeah.
So let's see. We had the Trans Am, the Pontiac Trans Am. Josh ended up giving me a 1985 Dodge Shelby Charger.
Ooh.
It's a nice little front wheel drive turbo car.
Ooh.
It was pretty good. Had a 91 S10. We had like a 85 S10 that was like jacked up real big. A 83 Mercedes-Benz diesel.
I remember that.
That car.
That was so cool.
It was like a gangster car, but when you cut it off, I don't know if it was because it was diesel or what. It would continue running. So like you could turn it off, take the key, walk into Walmart or whatever, do your shopping, come out, and that car'd still be running. You just go out there, turn the key back, and put it in gear and go. So you had to pop the hood, and there was an off button on the engine. You pushed the button on the motor, and it stopped diesel fluid from getting into the carburetor, and would kill the motor. That's what you had to do to make it cut off.
You know what I remember about that car?
What?
Blew my mind. Like, what? No, I can't believe that. Is when I looked at the gas gauge, and it didn't say E, it said R.
Oh, yeah.
I was what is wrong with your gas tank?
Yeah.
I had never seen that before in my entire life.
Yeah. Mercedes-Benz.
It didn't get to E, it went to R, which you told me was what, for fuel reserve?
Yeah. Yeah, so it had a smaller reserve tank.
Sure, it was like empty in German or something?
I mean, it may be. I could have been wrong the whole time. Yeah.
Oh, that means reserve, Nick. See, we're riding in style.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Let me pop the hood and mash the button so the car doesn't run out of gas.
I'm 18 years old thinking, hey, man, I'm good. But let's see, what else was there? There was motorcycles and stuff like that, but we'll leave that out.
You had a really good motorcycle. A little blue one.
Yeah. It's out in the shed. I'm rebuilding the motor. It was I had a 69 Oldsmobile 442. That car was amazing.
It was a beautiful car. That was a beautiful car. I almost wanted to write a book and use that car as like what the people in the book drove, because it was, I mean, just looking at that car, it just had like, you could write a story with that car. It was like car. You know how they used to back in the day, there was either like a dragon being like the bad guy, or the guy rides in on a horse. Right. Or like the Trojan horse, that car, just the look of it, the sound of it, the feel of that car. I mean, it is like you could make a story, like a mythological story from that car.
That thing had it.
Beautiful.
The motor in that car, it was a 455 big block. It was like the size of this table. Like, I know that's exaggerating, but in between like me and Nick, where you see, it was essentially that big. It was a gigantic motor.
Loud too. God, that thing was loud.
Oh, there was I had a 92 Camaro. It was T-top like my Trans Am. It was like a 94 Mitsubishi Eclipse. If you ever saw the first Fast and the Furious, what Brian O'Connor drives, the little green car, I thought I was bad to the bone, you know. Yeah. Hated that car. It broke down all the time.
That's funny.
Worst car ever. Man, I'm drawing a blank, but
You own like a million cars.
I know it's a lot.
Life.
Yeah, it was a whole
Like I
lot.
said, he had like a car lot at one point in time up and down his driveway. I don't see how your mom put up with it.
I know. Yes.
I don't see it. Your mom. I'm just going to throw out a shout out to Dee Dee for being a saint for dealing with this and all his shenanigans that he pulled.
She's the best mama in the world. I gotta say my dream car would have to be between a 1967 Pontiac GTO, which I would love to have, or like a 2004 Nissan GTR, the R34. The only problem is okay, what's up, America? Why is the Nissan Skyline illegal? I can buy...
Is this getting political?
Well, no, it's just like... I'm looking to purchase one from Japan and importing it here. But everyone that I talk to says that you're going to impound it as soon as it comes into the United States because it is illegal to own that car.
So you're exceeding your freedom limit.
I don't get it.
You're exceeding your freedom limit. You need to calm down.
I don't understand. It's my dream car, but like you can have they have the 32, the 33, the 34, and now like the 35, which is the new one you see around everywhere. But you can buy the 32 and you can buy some 33s, but the 34, oh no, it has to be 30 years old before you can import it into the United States.
Really, I didn't know
that.
So
it was made in 2004. So 2034, I can have that car.
Oh my.
Well, that's a whole nother. That's a whole
politics.
Yeah. So what would your dream car be?
Oh my god.
A lot of people, they're just basic Corvettes. I know Steve was talking yesterday. He was like, "It's my dream car, brand new Corvette."
Why don't you go first?
I already said the GTO and the Skyline. Those are my two dream cars.
You didn't specify saying this is my dream car.
Oh yeah, I would absolutely love to have either one of those.
To be honest with you, I would really just want. It didn't even have to be souped up or anything, but to be honest with you, what I would really like to drive, honestly, an Aston Martin. Like, you see James Bond? Like, Bond?
Yes.
Not the old one, but like,
but like the Vanquish? Yeah. The one that, oh man. I love that car. It's so good.
See, I would put that car in my garage. I would go to sleep. In the middle of the night, I wouldn't wake my wife, and I'd sneak out, and I'd be shh. I'm always going to come back to you.
Yep.
And I'd crawl in the back seat, and she'd catch me in the morning.
Yeah, that is such a gorgeous car. All right, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was good. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell.
Oh yeah, hit the notification. If this is on YouTube, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell.
I'm not too familiar with the podcast.
And so we're still new to the podcast thing. This is our second podcast. So depending on what app you're running your podcast through, you'll either subscribe or favorite. It just depends on which one. That way you'll get this sent straight to your phone or whatever you're listening to your podcast on. But thanks for watching, and tune in next week.
Take care. And sing.